Hey everyone, I'm Click. Welcome back to So Dungeon 2 and the 10-hour challenge. You know the deal by now. So we're on to Dimension 2, and boy oh boy, have I actually been having a bit tougher time than I would like. So my goal is still to get Dimension 2 done in one run. I am so close and yet so far off. So I could easily get it done in a super quick time. If I were to do it in 2 runs, I could probably get in maybe 20 minutes with the magic clock on the second run, but I really wanted to get it done in 1, and ooh, I have been trying it for a few days now. So if we take a look at these files up here, so there's 4 that I'm not going to use, and then there's the 3 down here, so that's 7 attempts, and there's a handful I've deleted because they haven't really done much, and obviously a handful more that I don't need because I've already done so much. But the strategy in itself is turn in the quests, get full gear, so iron swords, iron shields, iron rings, level them up, and just use mystics. And this is a decent strategy. I've hit high stat values on them all, so I think HP wise we're around 60, damage wise we're doing around 20, so about the same as our casting damage. The issue is both values are just off, and if I go into 1, I'm still not quite there to be able to do the run how I would like, and similarly if I go into the other, same thing. So for instance, if I were to do, say, the attack relic, and I focus the upgrades on weapons, my damage is there, but my HP to survive, especially against the chameleon boss, just isn't there. Similarly, if I level HP, level the shields, so rather than split 3-3 on here, I can do some double upgrades on some stuff. I have enough HP to get to the boss, but I don't have the damage. So I really need to sort of, take a step back. I probably am going to reattempt Dimension 1. I'm still going to use the same strategy, so for all intents and purposes, I'm going to classify it as still this segment because it is using the same strategy. Unless there's a switch up, I'm not going to redo it as much. In fact, I might not even show it. I might do like a short video on it, maybe just to showcase the extra things I've gone after and how long. But as you'll see, coming up is the first major hurdle of this sort of segment, and it revolves around 2 things. 1, the boss is able to triple hit, and then I only have 1 heal stone. So yeah, so this boss right here has been absolutely destroying me, and the reason is he hits 3 characters at once for 29 damage, so I can't heal past that. So there's either 2 ways to circumvent it. Either I have enough HP to survive 2 hits from him, so that means that everyone has to have above 58, which I'm just at on the majority of them, or I need to have enough damage so that I can beat him in 2 rounds. Both are technically achievable, but again, they take me out of the bracket of being able to beat the end boss. So, all in all, it seems like my stats are just not quite there. So either I do it in 2 attempts, in which case I end the run a lot earlier, I just level up using blue smithing crystals, and it's a piece of cake. Or we go back to Dimension 1 and I strategize a bit more. In fact, here I'm thinking about leather armor. And if I were to go that route, so this is my second attempt, which I actually do use leather armor, the key component I am missing is the ability to level up everything. So ideally, I'd want to get the all the leather armor to level 2, so that's 18 smithing crystals there, weapons level 2, another 18, and the shields, another 18, all of which I just need more gold. But if I can do that, I gain a decent chunk of HP, I gain a decent amount of damage, and it should be doable, but it means I do have to invest more time into Dimension 1. So even though I can sort of get up to the chameleon boss with this strategy, there is honestly no way for me to do it without just complete RNG, being able to hit through. He's got double the HP of the boss before him, and if I'm only just clearing the damage threshold for that boss, i.e. surviving enough rounds, then, I can't do the chameleon. Honestly, if I could just get some way to heal, and we go back to the idea of nurses, the only issue with the nurses is I don't have a way to sustain their mana pool. And if I sub out any amount of mystics, I can't clear on the final floors because I'm only perfectly at the damage. You need 22 damage average in order to clear from 180 to 200 to clear all the rooms in 1 round and not take any damage. So either both the mystics and the nurses have to be pretty high level, which is even more of a time sink, or I just honestly go crazy on gold farm in Dimension 1, I unlock stuff like Inheritance so that I can upgrade everything with no hassle. I think this one I'm favoring HP. Yeah, so they've all got base 50 here, which is going to go way up once we actually head into the dungeon. We've got in the leather armor here, which I think I'm also going to upgrade. So again, I'm selling a bunch of stuff, which I also don't like doing. If I had Inheritance and had that 1,000 gold, it would definitely be a lot easier. But all in all, it's whether or not I sort of want to play it out, or if I go back to Dimension 1 and I just fine-tune it. Because again, that's all this run, or this series really is me banging my head against the wall that is Soda Dungeon 2 until it breaks. And I'm still having fun with it. I'm still having a lot of fun with it. But it's definitely hard because I am starting to get sick of the idea, mainly for you guys, of, you know, getting into a series or a run and then having to restart. You know, that honestly isn't really worthwhile, because if you think about it in terms of content creation, I'm feeding you guys all this content and there is no point to it, because eventually it's just obsolete. There is no rewatch value. There's no point in going back. I mean, you can see my thought process, how the run develops, but all in all, there is not much to it. I'd rather concisely get the run down and then present that to you guys. And in order to do that, the amount of time I have to invest in it is the issue, because I would like to get content out. I'd like to not just, you know, spend 3 hours a day farming just for me to delete it, because at Dimension 3, I need to redo Dimension 1 and spend 3 hours and 10 minutes to get it done. But we are definitely getting much closer. I thought I'd done enough, but I have done essentially the bare minimum. So my 2 hour, 22 minutes Dimension 1 run that has enabled me to get full armor, full levels, have the kitchen level 4, have all these really good perks, is the bare minimum. And it's really a tricky question. So right now, we can get this boss done. Our HP threshold is now 62, so we can survive the 2 rounds. It's perfect. It's still a dead run, because I can't out-heal the damage on the final boss, so there's no point. I think I can't even out-heal the damage on the next boss, because they do 31, and in order to survive 2 rounds on them, I need more than 62 HP, which I don't have. I have exactly that amount again. So, yeah, either I might do this dimension in 2 runs, just to sort of feel out the run. Again, I don't know how far I'll get if I do that, and it's not going to be a great feeling if I get to, say, Dimension 5, Dimension 6, or even later, and then realize, well, no, I need to redo Dimension 1. That's just, it doesn't feel good for either of us. We'll see. I might just tackle it, see if I can get a good time, maybe do Dimension 3, but honestly, I think I want to just redo Dimension 1 and really hammer it down, nail it out. Honestly, I'd rather be over and get the run done than, you know, scrape by and just get close to 10 hours. If I can get a working run done, one that actually allows me to do all 10 dimensions in the correct number of runs, so exclude World 1, Dimension 2 is in 1 run, Dimension 3 or Dimension 4 hopefully are in 1 run, and then everything else is in 2 runs. If I can get that methodology down, then, you know, we're golden. I can then sit down, refine everything, and figure out where I can shave off time, where I've overestimated things, and get close to that 10-hour goal. That would be the concept I'd rather use or utilize. So I guess I'm leaning toward Dimension 1. It's tricky because obviously today is, well, it's going to be Friday for me when this comes out, and usually I do one more on Saturday. I would very much like to have one, but this is the crossroads. In fact, I'm leaving this really late. Obviously, if you're hearing me, I'm recording this post, so I have one day to figure out, and obviously the easiest thing to do is just clear Dimension 2, present it to you guys. I don't even know what I talk about at that point, because it's essentially the same thing as this run. I think there's actually no content worth that. It would just be doing a video's sake. So yeah, so I honestly think I'm going to redo Dimension 1 and just farm it. There's not much else to it. It sucks because I'm so close. I was so happy with the previous run to this Dimension 1 because I was able to do what I did on stream and then some in quicker time. and that felt great, but now just realizing it's not enough. It's the exact minimum, which just, oh, it's awful, because you're so close. If I just had, you know, 1 extra point of HP, I could survive these rounds, and, you know, there's a decent shot. The other thing that I really need to consider is the community boss. This is definitely the hardest boss in the game. I don't care what you say. Even though it's on Dimension 2, it is by far the hardest boss. In fact, I could probably do an intermission thing where I do, you know, tier lists for the classes and tier lists for the Dimension bosses. I think that would be interesting. I think I'd have a lot to say, given everything I've done with the game so far. But if I... Sorry, train of thought I was going with. For the community boss, you need X amount of damage, and the easiest way to achieve that is either with a frying pan to a quick burn, or with the nurses for biohazard, or have a ton of HP. Because again, I can't out-heal him. You know, I can get to the point where there's 2 people left, 1 on each side, and then I can sort of out-heal him. I can't realistically, because he does 30 damage and I do 26. Granted, when he obviously does camouflage, I have an extra round to heal, but it also means my damage output is just at a standstill. Like, it will take 90 plus turns at 10 to 20 damage. Sorry, 45 to 90 turns, which is, you know, awful. It's essentially going to be like 20 minutes onto the run. So, I don't know, I'm going to take time. I'm probably going to start fresh tomorrow and consider doing either this dimension in 2 runs. It'd be significantly easier if I do it in 2 runs, or redoing Dimension 1. If there is no video, or if there's like a tier list, hope you enjoy it. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's, I guess, another failure. A lesson learned is probably a better one. It's not really a failure, because I could push through and do it. It's more 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Hope you found it interesting at least. Not a whole lot of progress, unfortunately, but we will get there. I will do this in 10 hours. Or die trying. No, I'll get it done. Anyway, see ya.